Hello and welcome everyone to the Founder Scoop. My name is Jacob Lee, and today I have with me Melina Weeks. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
So, Melina, what is your business here at iHub?
Yeah, so it's called Dainty Lace, and
Dainty
it's
Lace.
a more conservative and high coverage, model free lingerie company.
Wow,
Yeah.
very cool. Well, before we dive in and talk about your business, I'd love to learn more about you, like where you
Yeah.
come from and what made you want to become an entrepreneur. So, where are you from?
I'm from Idaho.
Idaho?
Yeah, so small
Nice.
town called Nampa.
Nampa. I've heard of Nampa
Yeah,
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
Most people haven't.
I don't remember where, but I know a lot of people from Idaho.
Yeah.
So, that's cool. So, earlier you mentioned you're a student here at
hmm
BYU. How does that factor into you becoming an entrepreneur? Like, tell me
Yes.
about that.
Yeah, so I'm studying experience design and management, which is in the business school. So I get a lot of the business core classes like finance and marketing, economics, all of those. But I also get the more positive psychology side in my major. So I learn about experiential marketing, experiential like management, and everything that you can do to design a well-rounded, transformative or meaningful experience for people. So learning those things has really helped me decide I actually do want to start a business, but more than just starting a business, I want to provide experiences for people.
Mm,
And that's what I'm hoping to do with Dainty Lace.
that's cool. Did you like when you chose this degree at BYU? Did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur, or was it something you kind of discovered?
Yeah, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur in like some sense. My dad and mom are both entrepreneurs and they have just that lifestyle has been everything I've known and they're amazing hardworking people and I'm like I want to be just like them. So, I guess I have to be an entrepreneur somehow. And like I've had a bunch of different ideas, but none of them were like this is it. I'm
Mhm.
passionate about this. Until Dainty Lace came and I was like, okay, I want to spend the rest of my life doing this. So
So, what gets you so passionate about Dainty Lace? Like, tell me, what is Dainty
yeah,
Lace?
so Dainty Lace, because it is model free, it allows women to feel comfortable going on the site, that they don't have to worry about explicit images or comparing themselves to the models. Like they don't have to worry about that. It is model free. They can look. They can even share it with their husbands or their significant others. Like I'd feel very comfortable giving this to my husband, being like, pick something out. This is a super cute site. I love it.
Huh.
But it's also high coverage. And I can talk about this more in a minute, but I've noticed that there's a lack of high coverage options in the lingerie industry. And this is a space where if you're a new bride or you've never been like introduced into the lingerie world, this is a great transition for um, the lingerie world. So I'm excited for these women to feel empowered and confident in going to this site that's both model free and high coverage, that you don't have to wear nothing to feel beautiful and confident.
That's awesome. Yeah, I recently just got married about 2 months ago,
Yay!
and so I know exactly what you're talking about. Like that
Yeah.
is a really cool thing that I didn't even realize existed until we started talking about
Yeah.
this. So, what kind of helped you come to the conclusion that this was a need in
Oh
the
yeah.
market?
So I've loved taking my friends shopping for it's like the gift I give them when they're getting married. And I've noticed the last couple times I take them to a lingerie store, they feel pretty uncomfortable. For some of these women, they're like, I want something more high coverage, and they like lean towards the more high coverage pieces, and the options were not cute. There were not that many options. And so we then like turned to online. We're like, oh, maybe there's a spot that has more high coverage, like cute pieces. Like I want cute pieces, right? And there weren't. And so I was like, you know what? This is a real need and let's just do it. Let's just start a whole company because I'm very passionate about this. So
Wow, that's really cool. And when was that you had
that
that
was
revelation?
so the day I woke up, it was the day before not my honeymoon, my yeah, that was a year ago. It was the day before my first anniversary with my husband. So it was January 3rd of this year. So
Oh,
about
really?
3 months ago.
Wait, that's your anniversary?
January
No
4th
way.
is
That's when we got married
no
too.
way! That's
Yeah,
crazy. Hey, it was a good day.
that is
It
a
was a
good day.
great day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the day I woke up and I was like, you know what? This is a thing.
That's so cool. You can point to the
Yeah.
actual day
Yeah.
and then it lines up
Yeah.
with
Yeah. So it's been about 3 months and it's crazy the amount of progress, how quickly and efficiently it's just all come together, and that's another indicator that I feel that this is needed
Mm.
because it's happened.
Yeah. So okay, tell me about that experience then. Like, you 3 months isn't a long
Yeah.
time for this. What did you have to do to get this company set up?
Yeah, so first was I went to Joann's. I am not a seamstress at all, but I went to Joann's. I was like, what would I want my first piece to look like? What would I want it to look like? And so I dragged my husband that same day on our anniversary, and I was like, I want to go to Joann's and I'm going to pick out some fabric and some lace, and I sketched it all up and I attempted to sew it, and it was the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so bad, but it was like the idea was there, and I was like, this is real. This could be like, I would wear it. This is gorgeous.
Mm.
It was ugly, but the idea was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was like, this, and then I texted all my friends. I'm like, what do you think about this? And they loved it. They're like, this is an actual need. And funny enough, my mom would definitely not go into those other sites. And so when I proposed this idea to her, I was kind of scared of what she would say. And she loved it. And so I was like,
Aw.
if my mom loves this idea and sees the vision that women need to feel confident, and they can feel confident and beautiful with high coverage pieces, this could be a real thing. So
Mm.
once my mom was on board,
That's
I
cool.
knew it was gonna
Yeah.
be it was gonna be good.
So then who's your ideal customer? It sounds like you've
Yeah.
got a wide customer base.
Yeah, so my ideal customer, my target market is new brides that are more on the conservative side, who may not talk about intimacy very much, but still want to explore the amazing parts of the lingerie world, and the romance of all of that. And so it's the new brides
Mm.
that are excited and ready for it.
Yeah, that's super cool. Is there like a market for moms too?
I would say so, yes. The pieces are so cute, like, anyone can buy them, of course. But also, like, my mom is another, like, sub-market where if they're wanting to buy something for their daughters or
Oh,
daughters-in-laws,
I
or
see.
they wanna buy it cute for themselves, yes, please. But yeah, I think it's a great market that I'm still learning. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
that makes sense. So what's been your marketing strategy so far? Right, you first off, you made your first prototype.
Yep.
Well, actually, let's take a step back
Yeah.
before we jump into marketing. Like, how did you get your first official prototype
Yeah.
done, and how did you get your products out?
Yeah, so I did a lot of research, just YouTube videos, podcasts like this, talking to mentors and people. And I learned that I needed, because I'm not a seamstress and I couldn't make them myself, I needed manufacturers. And so I can use like online like templates and stuff. And so I designed my own tech pack, which is like the design of the piece of the way I wanted it to look based on like my measurements that I wanted and where I wanted the lace, where I wanted like the satin or the silk or whatever composition I'm using. And so I make that, and then I size it all up, and then I send that to manufacturers, and then they send back prototypes. And then I've done that process. That was like the first month and a half of just fine tuning what I wanted the piece to actually look like. And then I sent my bulk
Hmm.
orders, and we've got 6 pieces for our first launch, and they're super
Oh,
cute.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, how did you find your manufacturer?
Yeah, so that was more research. I go through Alibaba and I narrowed it down to 10 reliable manufacturers that I wanted to work with. And then I sent them my tech pack, my designs. And then from there, whatever their price point was, I didn't take the top and didn't take the bottom. I took the middle.
Yeah.
And from there, I sent my tech pack to 4, and then I got the samples from 4, and then based on quality, their
Oh,
size
nice.
charts, even like the smell, like knowing that they're good quality, I then have picked 2 that I'm working with right now.
That's cool.
Yeah, and
Did
they're
you
great.
did you end up like, I don't know, did you have any like competitive negotiations where like, because you
Oh
had
yeah.
all these options, you're like, hey, this one's giving me this price. Were you able to use
Yes.
that to your advantage?
Yes, like the amount of back and forth that you go is crazy, but it's all worked out very well, and again very quickly,
Yeah.
that it's felt right.
Mm.
And the manufacturers I'm working with have been incredible. So it's
That's
been
awesome.
amazing.
That is so cool. How long was that negotiation period, or like the back
Oh,
and forth?
I'd say that was within that month and a half where I was
Yeah.
getting back samples, making adjustments, sending it back, and going back and forth. and then fine tuning the pieces.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Again, it's
it's
only been 3 months, so it's like
right.
my time span has been very short.
Yeah. So you mentioned you have like what, 6 products now?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Tell me about your options then.
Yeah. So we have one in the background. This is our white chemise. We also have a blush, like a pinkish color of this one. And then we have 2 sets. There's a royal blue set where it's like a cami and like little bottoms, both high coverage, lace, so cute, so soft. They're so cute. One's pink with little cherry blossoms, and one is that royal blue. And then a black cami. That was my first design. Was the black cami. That's the one I sent to all the manufacturers, and that process happened. Um, and then little black bottoms that go with them.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so. Is this like your first
Yes, this is
one
the
that like
first. This is the first
this was the one that you were
prototype.
trying to
Yeah,
design?
this was the first prototype with
So
for the white
describe it for those
chemise.
who are just listening though.
Oh, so it's a white chemise, so it has spaghetti straps and lace like trimming the top, a V-neck, and it goes down to mid thigh. And this one's white for brides or for whomever. They're super cute.
That's awesome. Well, it looks great. Good
Thank
job.
you.
Looks like it's a
I
lot of work
appreciate.
to
Thank
design
you.
that and
Yes.
get it all going too.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I love it. I think they're gorgeous, and that was the main thing when I'm designing them. I'm like, yes, I want them to be high coverage because that's the niche I'm trying to promote, the confidence within rather than having to wear nothing to feel beautiful, you know? I don't believe in that. But also making sure they were adorable, that I would wear them, that I would buy this. And I really do. I think they're so cute.
And it looks super comfortable too.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think
Oh,
you chose
thank
some good
you.
material.
Yeah, so the chemise is satin with lace, and the lace isn't scratchy. That was one of the things when I was doing my empathy data, when calling all my friends and asking them the things that they like and don't like about their lingerie that they've picked out in the past. And they said the lace they get is always scratchy. And they just want to be able to like sleep in it or wear it around, and they don't want it to be uncomfortable. And so that's another thing I focus on is especially when I was picking out prototypes and working with manufacturers, I felt the fabric and like kept it in my pocket and like just like
Yeah.
how like would I wear this all day if I had to, you know?
Did you ever like try that and wear them all day? Just
I
test it
haven't
out?
worn them all day. That feels a little excessive, but I have like carried them
Sure.
around and like
Sure.
I've showed all my friends and gotten their opinions and they're like, "Yes, this is like so soft and so cute. I love it." And my friends have been my biggest supporters for sure. They've like bought the first sets and they
Yeah.
like come over and I give it to them and it's like a little party. It's been really fun.
That's so cool. So now let's circle back then to
Yeah.
that marketing question. Like,
Yeah.
what's been your strategy to sell these products?
Yeah, so I am attempting social media. I've never been a big social media person, but I'm attempting to, and I'm really excited about it and all the things that I'm learning about social media and how you can use it as a tool to not only just promote the products, because yes, I'm wanting to promote the products, but I'm trying to promote like this self confidence that you should be able to feel in private, but also in public. And that's what I'm really trying to push for in my marketing. So on Facebook and Instagram is where I'm mainly posting. And I post like a brand awareness post. I post a confidence post, something that has to do with self confidence or you're beautiful, because that's what I'm wanting my target market to see when they're scrolling through Dainty Lace social media. Like, even if they don't even click on Dainty Lace, like throughout the day, they see it, oh, wow, you look beautiful today. Like, I want that for them
Yeah.
to feel that confidence all the time.
I think that's a
Um,
really cool like mission that you have is just
Thank
to
you.
empower women and
Yeah.
help them feel comfortable and I feel like that is a huge problem that we have in the world.
Yeah.
Is this self-confidence, self-image issues. And so like that's so cool that you're focusing your company around that
Yeah.
message and that mission.
Thank you. And that's been so fun that people when I say like I started a lingerie company, people are like, "What in the world are you doing? Like, why would you do that?" But that's the mission I'm trying to bring is like these two juxtaposed ideas of lingerie and self-confidence. Like, I want them to be together. That you don't have to feel degraded or like nothing or I want you to feel beautiful and romantic and you see yourself in these pieces as you. like, this is about you, you know? So, not you specifically, but you out there.
Thank you for the
But yes,
clarification.
you too. I want you to feel beautiful.
Thank you. So, what does the future look like for Dainty
Yeah,
Lace?
I'm so excited about the future. I want to create a sensitive skin line for women who may not like satin. It is a very soft, delicate fabric, but even then, there's some skins that don't like it. So I want to create a sensitive skin line, a maternity line, because after you have a baby, things feel a bit different when you're like looking at your body. But I want you to still feel confident and beautiful, and um, Dainty Lace is trying to help with that. I also want like women empowerment conferences. That's my main like
Mm,
10-year goal is I want Dainty Lace to be where you hear Dainty Lace, you hear confidence and you hear, "Oh, I want to talk about this. This is amazing." And yeah, so those are like the big goals that I want, but in the next year it's just finding those new pieces that will promote confidence.
I love it.
Thanks.
And what about you? For you personally, like,
Yeah.
do you intend to ever sell this company? Are you looking for investors? Like, what does that side of the company look like?
Yeah, so all the investment that I've made so far has been out of pocket.
Wow,
And that's one of like my biggest advice for I'm still a young entrepreneur, but people who haven't even started their business or found that idea that they're passionate about is start putting money away now.
Mm,
That's what I did like a year and a half ago. I just one day was like, I'm going to start a business someday, so I will need capital. So I just started putting a little bit of money, a little bit
that's
of
really
money.
cool. I've never heard out of all the people I've interviewed, no one's actually said, "Yeah, I knew I was going to start a business, and so I saved up this money specifically for it." That's really,
Yeah.
really cool.
Thank you. Yeah. So I put it all in a CD and it's just been like, it was growing until I was like, Dainty Lace. And I took it out and I spent it all.
That's cool.
Thank you, though.
So then you have capital,
Yeah.
you
So
bootstrapped up until now.
mhm.
Are you looking to bring on investors? Or you bring out like,
I think for now, I'm just trying to see if I can internally make it work.
yeah,
Um, because I've already bought the bulk and we've done our first launch. We're going to see how well and gain data from this first launch of sizes that work, what pieces are more in demand. And then from there, whatever I make from this first launch, we'll put right back. Sorry, I just hit this mic. Put right back into the second launch.
gotcha.
Um, so I'm hoping to be
So yeah,
internally.
you're I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Like you'll have like phases
Yeah.
and you want, yeah, that's cool.
Thank you.
Um, you said this is like your first like batch, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you have like a warehouse or are you drop shipping?
So all of this is currently stored at my little apartment. And my
Nice.
amazing husband works for BYU, like the warehouse at BYU. So he's really good at like organizing things and like working on like shipment packaging and things like that. So he's teaching me a lot
Oh,
about
interesting.
shipment.
Yeah.
And so we've got like our cute rack and I've got all my little boxes and all my like tags that say sizes. And so all of it is in house, in apartment right now.
That's cool. It's cool to see you leveraging your strengths and your
Oh,
husband's
yeah.
strengths.
That is the other advice. One, like, start saving money now. Two is if you're married or you have a long-term partner, like, make sure they're on board with what you're doing. Make sure that they see the vision and want to help you with the vision. Like, constantly my husband is saying, like, "This is our business. Like, I wanna be a
Mm.
part of this." Like, he doesn't know anything about lingerie or, like, he knows they're pretty, and like, I show him styles and I show him colors and things. He's like, "Oh, it's pretty." But what he really cares about is that we're doing this together. And I'd say I would not, in these 3 months of how the pitfalls and the great things and the scary things and all the things that have happened, it could not have happened without the support of my spouse.
Mm,
So that's my advice number two.
that's
Like,
great.
make sure they're on board.
Yeah. How do you, this is a question I've asked a lot of entrepreneurs, but like how do you balance like your business and your relationship with your spouse?
Yeah, it's that's a funny question because right now I am a student, a full-time student. I have a full-time, not a full-time, a part-time internship. I've started a business and I'm attempting to try and be a great wife. And honestly, I'd say balance is the wrong word. I'd say it's like almost opportunity cost. Like, what is most important in this moment? And most of the time, I choose my husband. And I feel like because I choose him most of the time, he makes it so I can do everything else.
Mm.
And so he knows when it's school time, it's school time. Like when it's, and I know this, when it's like work time, I go to work. When I'm at iHub, I am working on Dainty Lace, and I am like figuring out my mentors and figuring out like, okay, this shipment is doing this, like what's wrong with this. And then when I get home, I'm like, I'm with my husband at that point. So I don't know if
Wow.
that made sense,
Yeah, it sounds
but
like you want to invest in a healthy relationship
Mhm.
and just make sure they're on the same page.
Oh
Like
yeah,
make sure the priorities are set. Like your husband is your number one priority, and because he knows that he's your priority, he understands,
oh
and
yeah,
like your guys, you can work it out. It makes sense.
exactly. And when I'm doing the thing that I'm doing at that moment, I'm fully invested in that thing, and that just helps me go on to the next thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you said it perfectly.
thanks. Now you mentioned a bit about iHub's mentors.
Yeah.
How has that helped you as you've been growing?
Oh, so much. I have an amazing mentor named James Brown, and before I even met him in person, I got his number from the big mentor guy here, and I had a big shipment problem from the manufacturers because of course that always happens, and I've learned so much, so much. And I called him. At this point, it happened in the middle of the night because when you're working with overseas, everything happens at night in their daytime. And so I'm constantly not getting enough sleep,
Oh man.
which is fine, but it's better now. But at this point, they told me about this big shipment error in the middle of the night. And so I did not get sleep for like 3 days. And so I was like, I need to call my mentor. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'd call my parents. They gave me some advice, but they don't know much about like this type of industry or things like that, working with overseas. And so I called him, and he gave me some of the best advice that I could ask for. He said, because you've found good manufacturers and they're willing to customize, they're willing to like take your tech packs, they're willing to like communicate with you very well, they're not scamming you, that's a big deal. Like, save the relationship with them. Like, even though they made this huge error that's costing me thousands of dollars, the relationship with them is most important. And like, I had thought of that before, but hearing him say that made just my heart just, it felt so much better. I was like, thank you so much. I slept well that night. It was great. So yeah, he's awesome.
Sometimes you really do need that outside validation,
Mm-hmm.
and coming from a mentor who's experienced it,
Yes.
it makes it so much easier to accept.
Yeah.
And like time is so precious, and especially when you're doing something new and you don't know what you're doing, having a mentor like that be able to tell you, yes, what you're feeling is
Yeah.
right.
It's
Don't
gonna be
waste it.
okay.
Don't waste any more time
Yeah,
worrying
it's
about
gonna
it.
be
Just
okay.
go.
Just go. Just work it out.
Yeah. So this week, right, we had a huge announcement that the US is changing its tariff
Yeah.
policies. How does that affect your business now that you're, like you said, it was China that you're getting them
Yeah.
from? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How does that change things?
Honestly, right now, I am just gonna keep doing what I am doing. My profit margin, it's lower for clothing than it should be, but I'm
Because of the tariffs or just
no,
in
in
general?
general,
Yeah.
because I'm working on brand awareness more than anything, and because my target market is new brides, I want it to be like, it is high, very high quality pieces, but I want it to be at a reasonable price that they'll be like, "Oh, I want to get this," or "I want to get this for my friends. This is a great company. I want to get this for my friend." And so because of that, my profit margin is particularly lower than the clothing margin should be from my research. Um, but the tariffs in itself, not, I'm I'm taking it. I'm like, okay, but you can't stop production. You can't stop like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Eventually I do want to move to US. Like, that's the future, but in the future I want to have my own manufacturing. Like, I want to
Mm.
be in-house. I want to provide women jobs. Again, with that empowerment, like, that's the main goal, is I want everything to be in-house. But that is a very, very long-term goal.
Yeah.
But
That's
until
super
then, we're
cool.
just going to keep going. We're just going to keep making it work.
Hmm. What is the cost comparison look like for producing in the United States versus in a foreign country? I guess it kind of depends on the
Like, once you
country.
get there.
Yeah, I guess proportional wise, what would you say?
Um, like, once you, that's the thing. Like, for now, it is extremely lower to still produce, even with the tariffs, out of country for clothing, especially like the way I want it designed and things like that. But if I were to produce in the States for myself, like in my own in-house company, which is like a 12-15 year plan away, first I'd have to buy all the stuff. And then I'm hoping it would reduce my, especially shipping costs. Shipping costs are awful. That's where it really gets you, is the shipping. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that that would
Yeah.
be the main
You don't
thing.
have any international customers yet, do you?
No,
So it's
not yet.
all
Yeah.
domestic.
Hmm.
Okay. That makes
Yeah. Right
sense.
now, it's mainly on the West. The West is like
Yeah.
where I'm seeing most. But we did have one from New York, and I was like, woohoo!
That's
Let's go, New
awesome.
York.
That's cool. Well, what are some final words that you have for anyone that's listening?
Um, I would say that if you haven't found, like maybe for like entrepreneurs who haven't started their business yet, if you haven't found that one like passionate idea yet, know that it will come. I hated it when entrepreneurs would come to my class and say, "Oh, the idea will come to you. The idea will come to you." But it did. And like being on this being on this side of it, I realize what they're saying is keep being observant, keep gathering empathy data, and keep doing what you're always doing, which is helping people. Like the reason Dainty Lace came to my mind, it popped into my head one day when I woke up, is because I was loving people. I was loving my friends, giving them gifts. I was helping them feel confident and beautiful and sharing my view on intimacy and romance and how it should feel confident and beautiful and that this is, it's not a bad thing. Like I was sharing those things that I truly believed in, and then the product vision idea came. So I would say for entrepreneurs, like keep doing what you're doing, finding ways to help people and love people, and the idea will come. You're like, there's a need, I'm going to fill that need.
I love that so much. Thank you for
Thanks.
sharing.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for coming today.